Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is not David. Okay, so here we are. Dave, hopefully will be back later this week. This video is scheduled to come out on Thursday, so I'm kind of hoping that he'll be in a better place, and we'll be able to record together starting the videos that come out Friday and maybe this weekend. So he's doing okay, but his back is really uncomfortable. He's getting a lot of back spasms when he moves around, so he's really has to take it easy. I mean, just getting up and going to the bathroom is a risk, right? So he can kind of roll over in the bed if he's careful. That's how bad it is. So he's really not in a great place. So he'll be back when he's ready. He's a pretty tough guy. So today, the reading I want to do today, I want to do something that's a little more uplifting. My last couple of readings have been just really, they've had nice outcomes, but boy, the topics are tough. And this one's going to sort of pivot on the reading that's going to come out on Wednesday night. I record these and then I schedule them, and sometimes I move them around. So the one that's coming out on Wednesday is called "What Brings the End of the Trump Era," and this one is what will the U.S. look like post-Trump era. So it's hopefully it's a more uplifting view of what we're going to look like at the end of this. It's kind of reading the final chapter and then looking at the epilogue, reading the epilogue to the story. You know, how did everything turn out? So, because there's a whole bunch of questions. You know, will we still have 50 states? How many political parties will we have? Will they be the traditional political parties, or will there be new political parties? What will the structure of the U.S. government look like? The video that I just recorded earlier, it's Monday at 8:15. I just recorded one just a half an hour ago that was looking at the checks and balances, and that we're going to have to come up with new checks and balances, and that may change the structure of our government, quite frankly. How will the role of the U.S. look like in the world? How is that going to change? You know, we've become this sort of isolationist, nationalistic, unreliable ally, and it's causing our former close allies to rethink their relationship with us. And when we finally emerge from this, come back out on the world stage, we might not have the influence we had before, which is not necessarily a bad thing. And how will the media have changed? I mean, there's already kind of a movement away from corporate national media and moving more towards these platforms like Midas Touch or these other podcasts where people are getting their news from alternative sources. So there's going to be a lot of change. And hopefully maybe there'll be some emotional growth in this country, and we'll stop hating on each other quite so much, and maybe not worship the almighty dollar quite so much, and as a country and as a people move forward with maturity and compassion and kindness. So let's take a look. Let's start with that last one. How will the people of the United States look like? How will they have changed? What do we need to know after the Trump era is over and we are kind of in our new golden age, if you will? What do we look like as a nation of people? Okay. The foundation is the Hierophant. We've got, this is kind of your government organizations. Let's see what this. We're celebrating. Our government has survived. Our government may have changed, and we're celebrating this victory. We're celebrating with each other. We had a lot of battles that we had to survive. We had to defend our government in order to when we're done with the Trump era, we will have fought for this government and for this country, and we will be celebrating. There will be a truth out there that, we know what happened. We're holding ourselves and others accountable for their actions. There's no hiding and there's no lying. This is what happened, and this is what we did, and this is how we're going to conduct ourselves in the future. And we're going to be more generous, and we're going to be more caring and more giving as a people. Okay, that's a nice start. I'll take that. Now, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just a guy throwing tarot cards and trying to interpret it. Your interpretation may be different. You may be a MAGA person, and you may be looking at this thinking, this guy's a libby lib and I need to own him. You know what? I've been a registered Republican since 1983, guys. I'm not MAGA. I believe in treating people with kindness. I believe in empathy. I believe in sympathy. I believe in helping someone that needs help. And I don't worship the almighty dollar. I know it's very un-Republican of me. How dare I say such things? Sacrilege, I know. I guess I'm just not your typical Republican. Okay, so how will the structure of the United States look like? Will we still have 50 states? No offense, Canada. Will Canada have more than have more states, more provinces? Okay, so how the structure? Will we have 50 states? Okay, King of Wands, basically taking strong actions. The wands are all about fire, energy, and actions, in making statements. Main clarifier is the Knight of Pentacles, sitting back and evaluating what just happened to us. We have things of value to offer, but we're not in a big rush to charge forth and offer them. This is this is more contemplation and being thoughtful about things. We saw a whole bunch of crazy. This could be, the information that has been thrown at the MAGA folks, basically the lies from corporate media that they've been feeding the MAGA folks all these years. Quite frankly, some of the same lies, only on the other side of the coin, that maybe the far left media has been feeding the Democrats. That somewhere in the middle, there's a truth out there. And we just have to get past the crazy. Ace of Pentacles, a new beginning, new things to offer. Maybe there'll be another state. Maybe there'll be a couple more states, one more state put out there. Maybe District of Columbia will become a state. Underneath it all, the Eight of Pentacles. But we've got a lot of work to do. I think what this is, I don't necessarily get that the structure of the United States is changing, but we're going to be rebuilding relationships and starting anew, and trying to move past the crazy, because there's been a lot of crap going on, and we need to be more contemplative about how we conduct ourselves as a country. We are one country in a world of countries, and you cannot be a good neighbor if all you think about are your own, what's in your own best interest, quite frankly. Of course, that sort of dovetails into what's the U.S.'s role going to be in the world and how's that going to change. But so why don't we do that next? So it looks like the structure of the United States stays intact, but how will our role in the world have changed? Will we be a better global neighbor? Will we be a more reliable ally? Will we relinquish control of being the world's policeman and maybe transition to something more like the world's EMT, providing disaster relief and aid, something that we're actually pretty good at? Okay, so how will the U.S.'s role in the world change in the post-Trump era? Okay. Knight of Wands. We're going to have to start taking some actions. Start moving forward with actions. Quite frankly, there's a lot of fences that need to be mended after this is all said and done. I mean, for God's sake, France was saying, hey, you remember that Statue of Liberty we gifted you? Since you're kind of on the side of the tyrants and the authoritarian people, why don't you give that back to us? Because you're not actually supporting liberty anymore. And of course, Trump's communications director basically said, oh, if it wasn't for us, you'd be speaking German. Yeah. That's a joke from a fish called Wanda, at least, and it's probably way older than that. I mean, so Trump's communication branch is coming up with 35-year-old jokes to counteract what France was saying. Quite frankly, I think I agree with France. We probably should give it back until we prove that we're worthy of owning it. So how will the U.S.'s role in the world change? We're going to have to take actions. We're going to have to start mending some fences. The main clarifier is the Seven of Swords. We need to stop stealing from our neighbors, taking their valuable things away, taking away their ability to defend themselves, sneaking off with things when they aren't looking. We need to, King of Cups, need to be more thoughtful, more mature, more in control of our emotions. In the post-Trump era, our role, we'll still have a big role to play. We'll still be seen as a leader, but we're going to be a more relaxed, less fire and brimstone, do as I say. It's more sitting back and don't let your emotions get the best of you. The clarifier, the Seven of Wands. So the U.S. role, it change will still be able to defend, take actions to defend people that need our assistance. It could also be we have to sort of defend our the role we want to take because we haven't been a very reliable ally for the last few years. And underneath it all, the Two of Pentacles, we need to start striking a better balance. To me, this is the epitome of being a better neighbor. I mean, I guess the Two of Cups would be even better still, but it's about balancing your national interests with those of the rest of the world. It's not all about you. Don't park your car on the lawn. If it bothers the neighbors, don't do it. I know it's your property. You can do it if you want, but it's not really nice to do. I was reading an article where someone was trying to sell a really expensive house, and they had a buyer on the hook, and the buyer's all ready to sign on the dotted line, and then the neighbor let their kid loose in the backyard of the neighbor's house, and this kid was like a monster. And it killed this real estate deal that this family had, because the people buying the house were like, we don't want to live next to that. Oh my God. And that's kind of what happens. If you're a bad neighbor, no one's going to want to live next to you. And you're going to really annoy the people that are stuck living next to you. It doesn't build good relationships. Be kind. Be thoughtful. Be nice. Be a good neighbor. Be a good citizen. It doesn't hurt. Okay, political parties. Will we see similar political parties, or is there going to be a transition in the political parties? Are we going to see more of a coalition style government? Because right now we have two political parties, and those are your choices. And I know people have been very upset because sometimes they feel that they have to pick the lesser of two evils. I mean, that's how Trump came into power in 2016, because there was as many people voting for him as there were voting not for Hillary. And unfortunately, that kind of gave MAGA a whole foothold that we are now paying for. So post-Trump era, what will the political parties look like? Okay, Knight of Wands again. We got some fences to mend. Actions to take, fences to mend. Oops, not the cross, the main clarifier. There's just been heartbreak and betrayal. This is probably how there's a lot of people feeling about how the Republican Party has gone full MAGA and how they've left so many people outside of the Overton window. That's what happened to me. I'm still a registered Republican, but it's mostly out of optimism that I can somehow effect a change to turn this party and head them back towards the center in an aggressive sort of way. Hasn't been working the last 10, 12 years, let me tell you that. So the political parties, they got fences to mend. There's heartbreak and betrayal on how you have conducted yourself. That there's a truth out there and you need to own up to what you did. And you need to be more truthful and more honest about how you conduct yourself. You know, this is almost kind of like on the media, really. The political party, and this could be kind of a multi-layered reading. This could also be layering in the media, because corporate media and the political parties have really joined forces and they've embraced the messaging of each other. You know, they put out these half-truths and just bald-faced lies, and then they support each other and they validate each other's messaging. So it might not just be the political parties' structures changing, but it's also this seems to be multi-level. That it's also how the media needs to change. You know, actions being taken to because you broke our hearts, because you betrayed us, and you did it, and you know you did it. And now the hangman, we're not happy with how things are going, and we need to take this in a different direction. And underneath it, the Seven of Pentacles. You know, looking at your opportunities and seeing what you want to harvest going forward. So it's not giving me much if we're going to change our political parties. There may be a change. We may actually be looking at this thinking, yeah, you know, maybe just one size fits all, you're Democrat or Republican, isn't working for us. Maybe we need to look at a broader scope of political parties. I mean, we have more parties, you know, Libertarian, Green Party, Peace and Freedom Party, but nothing that really can generate enough votes to make a difference, to make a coalition. And both parties kind of have their factions. You know, the Democrats have their very progressive faction, and they have more of the center-left liberal, traditional liberals. The Republicans have the traditional conservatives, and then they have MAGA, right? And that's just to simplify things. Within that, you've got all sorts of layers, right? So I don't think immediately after you're going to see a lot of change in the political party structure, but I think in the future there's going to be more thought put into maybe we need to make more of a coalition style government, more officially a coalition style government. That's it. So yeah, media was going to be my last one, but I kind of got a multi-layer on that one. That the media's that's going to have to change too. Let's do a real quick one on media, because they've really been the assholes behind a lot of this nonsense. You know, Trump wasn't necessarily lying when he said there's fake news. I think when Trump first came into the running for power, I think there was certainly biased news. With the internet and AI, it has definitely transmorphed into fake news. There's absolutely fake news out there. So how will the media look like after the Trump era has passed? What changes do you think we'll see? Ace of Cups, strong emotions. People are already getting really mad at corporate media, and they're moving away from it. The main clarifier, the moon. Yeah, because you weren't being honest. You weren't showing the light. You were hiding things. You were trying to confuse people. You're keeping people in the dark and you're keeping them frightened because it generated advertising dollars. You would broadcast this through the airways, and maybe in the future, what we're going to do is we're going to look at different either different methods of watching the news or just different sources that are being broadcast. That corporate media isn't the only thing. And like I mentioned on the onset of this is that, people are migrating to Midas Touch. They're going to Blue Sky. They're using alternative sources for news. They're not turning on, well, MAGA's still turning on Fox News, but they're not turning on mainstream corporate news as much as they used to. So what else will change post-Trump? People, they'll basically start doing their own research. And we've got this wonderful tool called the internet where you can go out there and you can do some research, but you have to sort of verify your sources. And then underneath it all is the Ace of Pentacles. It's a new beginning. We're going to take a whole new approach to our information consumption post-Trump. Because basically, you lied to us. You made us mad because you were lying to us. Okay, that's what I got for you folks today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe. We put out a new video every night at midnight Pacific time. Leave a comment. I read them all, respond to many. Now, I exhausted my list of people that I was going to give shout outs to. So when I do that, what I do is I pull up the people that just recently commented on our latest video. And I give a shout out to them because what the heck, I got the names right in front of me. I don't know if they've made lots of comments or very few, but here we go. And the first one there is June Wagner. Yay! And she wants to know where my cute clock is. Here, June, my clock is right there. See? It's my Kit Kat clock. I would show you the cats, but they were being really annoying, so I locked them out of the kitchen. That'll learn them. Hi, June. How are you doing? I hope you're having a great day. I was just, it's Monday. I was just watching June's live stream and rooting her on for 80 minutes. It was a very interesting live stream, to say the least. Some of the folks in the comments section were getting a little out of hand, and she finally was able to assign a moderator, and that moderator took care of business. So for June, we're going to give you the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, Eight of Pentacles. You're hard at work. Do that hard work, June. You're doing great. Good things will come. And I want to give a shout out to your moderator, who was Interplanet Janet, who did a fantastic job of getting in there and cleaning up the guys that were not acting appropriately. Interplanet Janet, you get the hermit. You found that path forward, and you were shining the light on that. Okay, so who else we got? Oh, we got a new commenter, Bluebird77. Okay, Bluebird77, since you commented, I'm going to give you a shout out. Magician, yeah, you're just beginning here. You're out there manifesting. Let your comments be known. I'm listening. I'm looking at them. Oh, here's one I recognize. Rogers PM. Hello, Rogers PM. I don't know if I gave you a shout out recently, but if I did, hey, great. Here's a second one. You have the Nine of Wands going to battle for me. Thanks. Thanks, Rogers PM. I appreciate it. Here's one from, let's see how many times. Ooh, 2 comments. A new commenter, Deborah1957. All right, Deborah1957. Hopefully you're watching this. You've got the Knight of Wands. You're like the foundation of today's readings. That card came up so much. Hopefully these readings were absolutely resonating with you. Let's see, who else we got here? Let's see. See if there's any I recognize. Oh, yeah. Aline Levin. I know you've been very active in the comments lately. So you get the Queen of Cups. Keeping a lid on those emotions. Keeping a lid on some other people's emotions. Really appreciate you being in the comments section. And I'm going to do one more. See if there's a name I recognize straight out of the top. Oh, yeah, here we go. Pooh Bear's Mom 160 with a wonderful little black cat thumbnail. I'm going to give you this card right here. Okay, so Pooh Bear Mom's 160. You get the Hierophant, that big government card. Don't let that government push you around. Matter of fact, you let them give a piece of your mind. That's what they're here for. They're here to serve you. Anyways, I hope you all guys are all having a wonderful day. Thank you for being around for this. This is for entertainment purposes only. If you disagree with it, what can you do, right? I did the best I could interpreting the cards. I stacked the deck as best I could before we started, because we get accused of that. That's very tongue-in-cheek. Have a wonderful day, folks. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye. Oh, one more thing. The secret card for the rest of us. I almost forgot it. I'll take it right off the top. Secret card is the 10 of Cups. One big happy family. Let's go out there. Let's be kind to one another. Be thoughtful. Be empathetic. What we're going through right now really sucks. Frankly, it sucks. And I do my best to be optimistic and positive, but man, I get down sometimes too. But just know that at the end of this, it's going to be so much better. We just have to endure it and just trust that Spirit and the divine have this under control. And we just have to do our part, be kind, make that difference one person at a time. Take care, everyone.